Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel one more time. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about dynamics. Before we start, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button, and that way you'll be the first to know when I release new content. I've gotten a lot of questions about my soloing and my flow. I figured that we could talk about this a little bit today and dive in as a type of conversation lesson. Let's have a conversation about this. The first thing, when it comes to dynamics, think about the way you speak. Every time you speak, you try to articulate your words, right? You never speak in the same tone. You never go like, hey, my name is Vlade. I am here and my name is Juan or my name is Pedro, right? Every time you talk, you say some words softer, some other words louder. Sometimes when you want to be really clear about something, you speak a little bit louder, or when you don't really want to be clear about something, you might be like mumbling, like, you know? Let's try and take that same concept to the drums when we play. In my Berklee years, when I was at the Berklee Global Jazz Institute, I was at this forum with Maestro Danilo Perez. He said something that really struck me hard, really made me think and redefine the way I play my instrument. He used to say, like, or he still says, you know, when you're walking, you walk in rhythm. When you're talking, you talk in rhythm. And you naturally have a lot of independence doing a lot of stuff, right? But the moment you sit and learn how to play an instrument, somebody teaches you technique, and you know, you should hold the stick this way, you should play this way and that way, and then we become really mechanic, right? Sometimes we even develop unnatural bad habits, all kind of stuff that really creates, or let's say blocks, the instrument from yourself as a person. When you're trying to play, you usually try to say something that is in your mind or in your heart, right? So your instrument should be an extension of your whole body. So Maestro Danilo Perez used to talk about this association. The idea that he always tried to explain was like, you know, you play your instrument certain way, but you walk and you talk in a different way. It shouldn't be. You should be able to express yourself on the instrument in the same way you express yourself talking. So that's when we really start becoming musical. Take a minute and think about different ways you can relate the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you walk to your playing. That's not really hard to do. Just do a little bit of thought. Connecting that to the dynamics. How do we connect that? Sometimes you'll find people playing in a pocket situation and they would be really loud, okay? They go. And that's not bad. It's actually saying something. It's saying like, hey, I'm here and I'm playing and it's loud. Okay, that's a statement, let's say. But think about that in this way. If you're playing like that in a different kind of context, that might sound really bad, musically speaking. And what do I mean by that? Imagine you are with three friends and you guys are all talking, you know, different things, different subjects. And all of a sudden, one of you just start talking like really loud. Like, hey man, everybody will be like, dude, what's going on? You know what I mean? This kind of playing out of context would be really bad. And what is the problem that I find with a lot of people learning today? They either play too loud or they either, they play too soft. And sometimes they don't find a balance. When it comes to teaching, I always go back to the music. Why? Because the music is the perfect example. Remember, before us trying to figure out stuff, uh, learning licks, learning grooves, music was there. And we used to just listen and try to replicate. We used to go to clubs and watch people play, listen to records. You know, now we have technology, YouTube, and all that is cool. But sometimes that part is missing. And that's why the use of dynamics will make a big difference on your playing. So, recapping until now, we're talking about dynamics in certain contexts. You know, I'm a believer of learning as many styles as you can in order to articulate your dynamics pretty well and in order to be able to survive at any musical situation and hopefully enjoy it. Let's talk about my personal approach to dynamics, technically speaking. I'm going to put it the simplest way possible. When I'm holding my stick, and if you look at my snare drum, usually my playing position, this is very personal, my playing position is having the drumsticks like really flat, very close to the snare drum, very close to the surface. So if I need to play an accent, you know, I usually do like a kind of a Mahler stroke, you know, this kind of thing. But I always keep my sticks down there. So that will really help me to work on my loud strokes and soft strokes, aka ghost notes. Let's take a simple example. If you take a single paradiddle, it's a rudiment that everybody knows. It's right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. And as you can see, a paradiddle splits into two groups of four notes, leading with the right hand and then leading with the left hand. So what we're going to do, when we start the right hand leading group, we're going to accent only the first stroke of those fours. And then when we start leading with the left hand, we're going to play one accent with the first left hand and everything else will be soft or ghosted. I'm going to do it really slow. Okay? This exercise, if you practice something like that for a couple of minutes every single day on a pad, on your snare drum, is going to make a huge difference in your playing. So if I would play that same paradiddle faster, sound like this. Right? As opposed to just. And of course, it seems very simple, and you say like, yeah, man, I know how to play a paradiddle. So what are you teaching me? Hence, the difference between a paradiddle play with dynamic articulation, you know, different volumes, versus a paradiddle with only one type of dynamic. Hopefully, you want to have different articulation. If you like to develop, you know, a nice soloing, a very musical way of playing, this is one way to start. And this is at least what I will recommend personally. Let's take that same paradiddle right now and let's just play around the set. Let's see how it sounds with all the dynamic articulations versus one dynamic. Now, one dynamic. So notice the difference. I'm not saying one is right or one is wrong. I'm talking about being able to control both ways of playing. Okay, I like to play you a very short passage of like soloing, thinking about dynamic articulations, and at the same time, sort of over exaggerating my fortes or my pianos or my mezzo fortes or my mezzo pianos. Another quick example, but like trying to keep just one dynamic, like kind of loud. To be honest, I had to kind of force myself to do that because I usually don't play just in one dynamic. I like to keep it flowing, different levels of volume and articulation. You be the judge of which one suits better for your playing. One thing I would do is take all my rudiments, stickings, combinations, and try to practice them with accents. Usually all my concepts are connected. If you go back and look to my different lessons since the very first one where I talk about the power of the subdivisions, I like to talk about that first because the power of the subdivisions and the table of time are really, really key to help you phrase with different note values in an effortless way. So last exercise before I go. You're going to take your triplets and play it on a linear way using your foot and your two hands. And it's going to be pretty easy. Starting with the foot, right and left. So for example, classic all phrase everybody knows. The way I wanted to experiment with this is using different levels of dynamics, different volumes. For example, you can go see, you can use that to play in that different dynamic feel, in articulation, hopefully. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like with your friends, leave me a comment down below, and let me know what you think about this lesson. Please also check my Amazon links down below. I get a little commission, and that helped me to keep doing more videos and keep creating content for all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.